Welcome back in, guys, to another episode of the Advisor Odyssey podcast. Now, today we got a couple topics here. Number one is the big, sexy CRM. We're going to be talking about how to maximize your CRM and how to use it to your own advantage, not just as a address book. We're going to be talking about how you can help your associate advisors or agents within your business when they're struggling to convert. And then I made an Instagram post a while back that talked about the Kaizen Method, and I got a handful of questions about that. So we're going to dig into what exactly the Kaizen Method is. So stay tuned, guys. We got a good episode.
This is the Advisor Odyssey audio experience, where financial advisors, planners, insurance agents, and brokers will find fresh new ideas and perspectives around what it takes to launch, succeed, scale, and bulletproof their business.
All right. So your CRM is it's an incredibly valuable tool if you know how to use it correctly. Now, again, I have many conversations throughout the day with advisors who, whether they know how to use their CRM, they use it really well, or they think they know how to use it, or maybe they don't use it at all. Like, it's such a wide range of outcomes. But your CRM is a wonderful tool if it's used correctly and if you know how to. It can help you in your business, not just operationally. That's where I think people don't understand. It is not just a place for you to hold documents or client information. You know, if all you're using it for is for like addresses, emails, phone numbers, etc., then there's no reason to pay for it if you're paying for it. And let's just be real, it's not actually a CRM, it's an address book. Okay. The CRM should also be able to help you with your marketing efforts. It should be able to help you with your sales process. It should be able to help you find business opportunities. Also, it should help you generate referrals. Like, it should do all these things and more. So, it's always a wonder to me why financial advisors don't spend more time on this. They spend time looking around for all the best CRMs out there. Is it, this company? Is it that company? What about this? What if I just do it on my own? What if I build my own? All these things, as great as they are, like, the one common variable that I see whenever I have discussions around CRMs, and this is very real. 9 out of 10 times when an advisor asks me what the best CRM is for them to use next or moving forward, my answer is always the CRM that you're actually going to use. It doesn't matter what it is, just use it. Anyways, let's break down what your CRM should be doing for you or could be doing for you. Now, I've got this segmented out here, so there's going to be some bookmarks here. You've got, first and foremost, the operations piece. Okay, your CRM, at the end of the day, it's an operational tool. That's what it was initially built for, and it's been layered onto on top of it. But the CRM, operationally, it should be able to maintain all of your client information. This is their personal information, their name, email, social security numbers, all that. It's going to be their financial information, their account numbers, their policy numbers, their statements. It's going to have all that. It should also hold the information on their beneficiaries. This is a very overlooked thing. Every single one of your clients, whether they have a brokerage account with you, a managed money account, whether they have life insurance policy, whether they have an annuity with you, like Medicare, it doesn't matter. Anytime you have a client, you should have a beneficiary on file. It is BOGO when it comes to clients. I shouldn't say BOGO. You find a client, you convert a client, you should already have another lead or prospect added to your system just because they have a beneficiary. To be clear, that's how that's supposed to work. So, on top of the information about the client, the financial statements, the beneficiaries, it should also serve as a tool to help you track your sales team's activity. Now, you can define activity any way you want. It could be meetings held. It could be new leads added to the system. It could be new conversations had. Like, you can set your own framework here. But ultimately, the CRM, the more advanced ones traditionally, they should provide you reporting for your sales team's activity. Also, on top of that, for both your sales team and your operations, your client service-based team, your CRM should allow you to assign tasks and job duties for your operations staff to complete, and then ultimately your CRM should notify you to follow up on it afterwards so you don't have to remember it. Writing something down on a post-it note and then emailing your assistant to take care of it for you, and then never following up on it, hopefully it gets done. Maybe you got a rock star assistant, but let's be real, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes they don't follow up on it. Sometimes they don't even do it, and you just forget about it because it's that fleeting thought that happens as a business owner when you get pulled in 10 directions. So assign tasks to your team through the CRM, and then the CRM will manually stay on top of it for you. And it should also, the more advanced ones should even give you notification or show you when it's completed. On the operations piece as well, I am so firmly in belief of documenting every single client interaction you have. Okay. When you, especially by the way, if you're securities licensed, you've got, if you make an investment recommendation, that client loses a ton of money, or they feel like you misled them, or they feel like you misrepresented what you actually invested them in. When you go on broker check, all those little dots that say, customer dispute or, financial account, whatever it is, those things, those little dots can usually be resolved and at least for the most part minimized just by documenting every single client interaction. Little stuff. Sally Sue called in to ask for a client statement. We sent to her 10 minutes later as of XYZ date. It could be as little as that to client calling and needing to make a beneficiary change. You send off the form. They return the form to you, and they don't remember signing it. They claim that you forged their signature. Those types of situations happen. Document everything and make sure that it has time and date stamps if possible. So again, that's not an exhaustive list by any means, but those are some of the key operational elements that a CRM should be able to help you do and help you fulfill. Now, my favorite piece moving forward is on the marketing side. Your CRM, I referenced this earlier. I hope you caught it. When you add a new client and you add a beneficiary, that beneficiary should be considered a lead for you as a client anyways. So your CRM should store lead information. And one of the big things that is oftentimes not actually documented is where the lead came from, why they even showed up. What I mean is, if you hop on your CRM right now and you go to maybe you've got a different prospect dashboard, but you hop on your CRM, your database, and you've got, call it 100 leads. If tomorrow you hop in there and you have 101 leads, but all you know is that there's this new name in there. You don't know how they showed up. You don't know who added them. You don't know when they were even actually technically considered a lead, just when they were added. That's valuable information that you are not getting. Okay. Always store the lead information and always document where the lead actually came from. Okay. A good CRM should also have a calendar component to it. That could be where it actually looks like a calendar. That could be something where you can assign tasks with a defined date. It could be a to-do list. It doesn't necessarily have to be a calendar look, but it should have your marketing calendar in there or something similar that looks like your marketing calendar. So your CRM has all your client info, has all your prospect info, but it also has your marketing plan. Okay? It's got your marketing plan. When you have your marketing plan in there, ironically, marketing plan constitutes future tense. Tracking and the metrics references present or past tense. So your CRM with the marketing calendar, if you can see I'm connecting the dots, your CRM, when that date passes, the marketing calendar date passes, and you have that seminar on your calendar, the next day you should be putting in the results of your seminar. How many people showed up? How many people set an appointment? How many people did not set an appointment? These things matter. Your CRM can store the data and the tracking for you. And a lot of the CRMs, the more advanced ones, can even basically spit out that data, export it into another type of spreadsheet or Excel doc or something to where you can continually analyze it. Okay? So your CRM should be able to do that for you. It should also be able to send email campaigns out for you, or at the very least track them. So if you do use a third-party company to send your email campaigns out, maybe they track it for you, but you should also have an option of making sure that whatever happens on that email campaign, or maybe it's a digital marketing campaign even, you can find a way to export that data. Ideally, you don't have to do it manually, but you can then plug that into your CRM. to paint a very real picture, the amount of times I have conversations with financial advisors who say, I tried an email campaign and it didn't work for me. I hired this company, or I paid this company to do XYZ for me, and I got like two people to come to meet with me, and they never became clients. It cost me $5,000. That's great. Do you know what else the data had? How many people did it get sent out to? I got 2,000 people in my database. Okay. Do you know how many people opened up the email? No. Red flag, right? How many people opened up the email? Okay. Do you know how many of those emails bounced back as undeliverable? Like it was not a good email address anymore? Nope. Didn't know that either. Okay. Well, what about how many people clicked your link or followed the link or maybe even responded? Nope. That's all on their side. If you can get where I'm going, those kind of conversations kind of make me want to, pull my hair out in a way where it wasn't your email campaign then. It was theirs. At the end of the day, it was theirs. They own the data. They have the tracking. They have the analytics. And now they have your client information. Your prospect information. You should be able to store the data on all of this, okay? Because it's the data you need to make educated decisions. Another thing on the marketing side of the whole CRM conversation, it should also provide you, and this could be weekly, monthly, yearly, daily, maybe if you've got a monster operation, you'll be able to see when you generated the most leads. And as elementary as this might sound, for many of you, you don't have a systematic budget. You don't actively say, every month I spend 10 grand. Some of you are operating off this month by month basis, or maybe it's every couple months. I had a good last quarter. So this quarter, I'm going to invest more into marketing efforts. Now, even though that client might convert later on, or maybe it's a year later, maybe it's the next day, who knows? But the point is, you should be able to ideally see when the lead came in per the date, and you should be able to sort it by, for example, which month produced the most leads. So, as an example, again, if you can follow here, January, we spend $3,000. February, we spend $3,000. March, we spend $8,000 because we had a strong January and February. Then in April, we spent $3,000 again. If March generated us 5 times the amount of leads as January and February, but it only cost us not even 3 times the money, we know that it's more beneficial for our business to spend the more money to get more leads, because we can easily identify, I spent more, I got more. And it's not just a feeling, it's an exact data. I know how many leads I got from each funnel. The CRM should be able to track that for you. So, again, that's the marketing piece of the CRM. Moving into the sales process piece of how you can utilize your CRM. This is going to be a little bit quicker here, but your CRM should be able to help you enhance your sales process. It should consistently show you a live feed or a current data on all your existing accounts, your account values, your prospects, your clients. It should show you all that information, right? Simple operational stuff. But from the sales process perspective, it should also show you where your prospects are at each phase. How many leads did you set a first appointment with and they showed up? How many came in for the second? How many came in for the third? Where are they at? Okay. It's not going to always be as valuable in that exact moment, but think about this, right? This is, again, another very real example, a real conversation that I had. Advisor John Smith has a full pipeline January of 2020. February of 2020, he has even more full of a pipeline. He starts setting these appointments up, second meetings, third meetings, maybe it's a first meeting throughout the month of March. We all know what happened in March of 2020. Everyone hit the brakes. Most people did. Hey, I'm not going to come and meet with you. Hey, I'm going to stay at home. Hey, that was by far the most fall off advisors have ever seen with their appointments. So as they came in, as they did not come in, the prospects, they vanished. So now you know these clients or these prospects at this point, they fell off, and you can find them, you can track it, etc. So it'll also give you a good breakdown on the trends. If you have a certain amount of lead fall off throughout the sales process from people who attend your seminars, or maybe you tend to have a lot of fall off and people not showing up for a second appointment or third appointment when they come in from your radio show, It'll allow you to spot those trends to know where you have to improve your specific marketing funnels. The last piece here is for those of you who do have associate advisors that you manage or that you help, you work with, it should provide you a live feed into their calendar. How busy are they? How much activity are they doing? Also, how well are they doing? If you've got 3 advisors, 2 of them have 3-4 appointments every single day of the week. One of them only has 1 appointment a day per week. That's going to give you real live feed of how can you help? How can you be better? How can you support them? So again, that's some of the ways that you can use your CRM. That's not a complete list or all the different things you can do by any means. Again, it's limited, just a few examples, but I hope that goes to show and illustrate the capabilities of a strong CRM and why it matters so much that you use your CRM to at least half of its potential. Because the last thing you should be doing, last thing you should be wanting to do is to pay money every single month just to have an electronic address book.
From left field, where we take a swing at answering your specific questions and share our insights into the more common challenges that financial advisors, planners, insurance agents, and brokers typically face in their business.
What should I do when this person has a sub-advisor, an associate advisor, but what should I do when my associate advisors are struggling with converting? Converting being gaining new clients. They get the meetings, they just never convert them. Okay. There's really 2 strategies that I know of to fix this, or at least that I believe can fix this pretty solid. The first strategy is to really just pause and hit the reset button. Spend more time with that advisor during their meetings. Sit in on it, get to know what they're saying, when they're saying it, how they're running the fact finder, how they're proposing the plan. Are they using the technology that you provide? Are they using a software? Are they using some printout? Just sit in on their meetings, watch what they're doing. Do not participate. Just, watch, listen, smile. You're going to be taking notes as you go, but this will give you a real live feed into what's happening. Now, this will cost you some of your time. So we got to make sure that the actual bottom line revenue piece, if your time is worth way more than the time that you would be spending, then this wouldn't be the best option. You would want to do the second option I'm about to say. But this gives you an opportunity to get some one-on-one time. And then you should also be having a preset scheduled time either after that appointment immediately, or maybe it's towards the end of the day, the last hour of the day, to break down those appointments, your feedback for the advisor. How can they get better? What did they do wrong? What did they do well? Give them positive feedback. That's your opportunity to discuss the good and the bad with them. So again, that's one strategy. The second strategy to help your advisors that are struggling with converting is, and this is if your time is incredibly valuable. Now I know, some people pounding on their chest, my time's always valuable. I'm saying if you're not able to spend 2 hours a day to help your advisors because the profitability they bring in your company is not worth it to what you do nowadays, then this is how you're going to handle it. Have your top selling advisor join in on the meetings. Have that individual be the one who leads the meetings. Let's call that individual advisor A, and advisor B is the one who's struggling. At the end of the day, advisor A and advisor B, they're going to split whatever the take home is on that. If it's management fee, if it's a commissionable investment, they're going to split it. Maybe 50-50, maybe it's 60-40 with 60% of it going to this top advisor. Maybe it's 70-30, 75-25, doesn't matter. But the point is, have that advisor A, the more experienced, successful advisor at the time, be a part of that meeting, have them lead the meeting, and compensate them for it. Your associate advisor who is struggling, advisor B, they're not going to want to give up their revenue or the money, I should say. But if they close 3 times as much because that other advisor is engaged with the meetings and doing a better job converting, it's still going to be more take home at the end of the day. So, and you can also meet with them too. It'll give them a chance to learn from the best that you have as well. But this is an opportunity for you to not give up your own time, but you're also going to provide more incentive and opportunities for your advisor B, the struggling one, to get better. But the other thing it's going to do is plant a seed in advisor's A mind that might frighten some of you. I think it should excite you. But advisor A, if they become really good at helping other advisors with their sales process, that should give you an amazing opportunity to promote that advisor A, or maybe it's not promotion, maybe it's they create their own team as well. Pay them more, get them more involved, allow them to build out their team and scale it out because they've proven that they know how to help people convert at a higher rate. And then you can spend your time doing more business owner related stuff. So the second question we had from our left field segment here. Now I said I made a post about this on social media and it got a couple questions. So I'm just going to make this really clear. The Kaizen Method. It's probably something that you likely haven't heard of. I mean, I know I had heard it a few times prior, but ultimately, the Kaizen Method is a philosophy that challenges the statement of that's just the way we do things. It looks at it from a different lens, and the goal is that it's eliminating, like ego. It's eliminating the time wasters. It's eliminating non-efficient processes. The whole goal is to create something that's less ego-driven and more like process efficiency-driven. So, there's really four phases of this whole process. The first one is plan. Okay. And that's where you identify the issue or the opportunity that you have for improvement, and you initially develop a hypothesis. So a real life example is I struggle with creating new appointments. I know that's my number one problem because when I get more appointments, I tend to do more business because I have a high quote unquote closing ratio. But I just need to get in front of more people. Very common problem. So our plan is, how do we get in front of more people? So now you move in the next phase, which is just doing it. So you're going to test it. You come up with the potential solution. Well, I'm going to do a dinner seminar, or I'm going to do a radio show, or I'm going to do a referral event. Test it. Don't break the bank. Just test it. Test it on a small scale. Did you enjoy it? Did it work even a little bit? If the answer is no, well, move along. If the answer is yes, you're going to then obviously act upon it. So phase 3 is to check it, measure it. As I said, did it work? Was it effective? Did I enjoy it? Phase 4 is act upon it. You now implement the solution to it. It's easy stuff here. Kaizen Method is a fancy term for it, but it's ultimately, what's my problem? How do I fix it? Did I enjoy fixing it? Did it work? And how do I make sure I keep doing it? It's really just that simple. The relentless obsession to improve and refine the systems and processes in your business will ultimately foster better marketing results for you. It will foster better business results for you. And then a better client experience for everyone. Yeah, better client experience. It'll create better processes for your operations team, your service team, even your sales team, your marketing team. It'll create better processes for them. And in turn, all of that creates a better experience for you to continue to do business, which ultimately leads to more freedom in your life, right? That's what we want. We build a business to provide us freedom in our life, to make an impact, to change the world, to help people. That's Kaizen Method.
We hope you enjoyed the Advisor Odyssey audio experience. Connect with us on your favorite social media platforms at Advisor Odyssey. You can find our full-length educational videos to watch on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out all our articles and publications on medium.com/Advisor Odyssey. The Advisor Odyssey podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The contents and opinions shared, expressed, or otherwise alluded to on the Advisor Odyssey podcast and audio experience are solely ideas and not to be depicted as tax, legal, or investment advice. Results from the use of these concepts may not be representative of the experience of all financial professionals and are no guarantee of future success. Your results may vary. The Advisor Odyssey and its affiliated members are not to be held liable or responsible for any lawful recourse or punishment invoked upon the individual or accompanying business partners or team members. Federal law, state law, and/or insurance carrier requirements may prohibit or place limitations on any of the ideas and activities expressed. All advisors, planners, wholesalers, affiliated reps, and investment advisors should be aware of any limitations imposed by federal regulation, state regulation, insurance carriers, broker-dealers, and registered investment advisors as applicable. Investment advisors are strongly encouraged to obtain pre-approval from the broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, insurance company, or similar institution with which they may be affiliated.